checks, straight buckets, no loose slips. Chin prep for the match deck. Spaced out, what's the concept? Lit nights through the 2-6. Trillville got the blueprint. If they act up, turn rufless. No shorts, better move.
Things Jaden Ivey has to learn. He turned his head to look for the screen. Brunson went the other way.
Mitchell Robinson before the game, still about 3 weeks away from making his return, so likely to miss the first part of the season. But he was the kind of veteran player that they felt they needed to put around this young core. That early stages, preseason opener for both of these two teams. Here is Evan Fournier, three-pointer splash.
That's hard for anybody, but especially a rookie point guard. That's very, very difficult. Second half of last year, he was the best rookie in the league.
Wired in that deal just over a week ago. Robinson turns back Ivy. My goodness. And then it's Randall with a hard left-handed flush. Stan, that's what he does.
And it is, and that is what Dwayne Casey is worried about with this smaller line.
Lanovich, a little bit short. Toppin tracks it down. Toppin now the trailer. Here he comes to the wreck. Obi Toppin taking flight. This has not been a good three-point shooter his first two seasons in the league. Hartenstein on a three-point jack.
Hartenstein only.
Three-pointer from Joseph won't go. Toppin clears for the Knicks. Here comes D. Rose. He'll launch. Splash! And the Knicks lead back to 6.
Very good three-point shooter.
Three-pointer from Isaiah Livers won't go. Look at Rose, that lightning quick first step. Hartenstein racking one up again. Here's Hayes against Quickly. Elevates. Fight for the rebound. Doran got his hands on it. McBride, what a pass. Toppin.
Back again. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's that good old season recap. And boy, oh boy, it's getting real. You got Trippy OG here. Y'all know the man himself. Fine and dining. You feels me. Got my man Ariel, Mr. Smooth Beat, light skin, finesse skin. Chill, bro. Don't even do that. But at the end of the day, y'all, as y'all see, with the VSN basketball station, we got our newest recruit, my main man, Ray Dixon. Oh my God, the graphics is on point. Knowledge of the game is on point. Matter of fact, I'm talking too much. Introduce yourself, Ray.
What's good with you guys, man? My name is Ray. Last name Dixon. You can just call me Ray. I'm on Twitter at Ray Dixon Live. Yo, shout out to Trippy. Shout out to Ariel, man. I just appreciate just the opportunity just to share space with you guys. You know, I appreciate y'all for that.
That's a fact, man. But without further ado, y'all, let's just get straight into it. Yo, that game, and I was tight because I had to literally work. I had to do the old school way, put my earbud in, listen to play-by-play. I couldn't watch the game. So I was mad. You feel me? Had to go home. I got home around like 11:30 from work. Had to wait like 2-3 hours for the whole game to go up. Watch the whole game to give the takes I'm about to give y'all today. So if that don't call us diehard fans, because I know we all probably had something to do, this is what we do. That game was lovely, bro. To see at one point we were smacking them by 30 points. 30! And that's a team that they said was supposed to be better than us. Like, let's talk about it. So I'm gonna throw it to you, Ariel. What are some things from this game? You know, because I'm just hitting on a little bit of stuff, but what are some things that you've seen that caught your eye in a good way? And what are some things that you've seen that caught your eye in a bad way?
All right, so I'm gonna start off with the good, then I'll go to the bad. The good thing, because I caught it midway through the first, because I had Bible study. But I noticed that I seen from the jump, especially the first few clips when Jalen Brunson was running point for those first few minutes, you see the overall, like, the transition from them having a real legit floor general compared to what we had last year. So having that, I felt like it's a big difference. And when, you know what I've been saying all year about, I've been raving about Isaiah Hartenstein. Everybody's on the Hartenstein train. I said it from the beginning when they signed him. I said, yo, nobody's talking about this guy. Everything is about Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. I say, yo, Hartenstein is low-key one of the best backup centers in the game. And I'm sticking to my guns with that. And I'm glad the rest of Nick Twitter took heed to it, man. I said it in the group chat. I'm like, yo, everybody's ranting about Hartenstein, but yo, he does everything. He's running the floor. He knows he's a great passer, great skill set for his height, a tough German kid, diving for loose balls. He does basically like all the little things, the intangibles that you want from your backup big. So now if mid
Hold on. You timed out.
I had a phone call.
Oh, okay.
So, Mitch, is not is injury prone. Let's face it, it is what it is. So now it feels good to have a backup center that in case Mitch goes down, you got somebody that actually adds more versatility to the offense. He can stretch the floor. As y'all can see, he's a good three-point shooter, which I've been known about. And he's actually just a good defensive player. He's scrappy. He rebounds. He gets down there on the post. He does every little thing that you want your backup bigs to do, and I love that. And Jalen Brunson, that goes without saying. A lot of people were talking about, all Leon Rose did was sign, this guy, Leon Rose's nephew, dissing him. And it's nothing, because that's what the kid dealt with his whole life. He's always being overlooked, but he always proves the haters wrong. Footwork insane, knows how to get the balls to the right person in the right spot. And the only disappointment, I'm going to go to the bad now. The bad disappointment that I feel like with this, what I noticed on the court was, it's sad because I've been on the Cam hive for a while, right? And I want Cam to succeed. But the dude can never stay on the court, man. For whatever reason, he just always, since college, man, since Duke, always can't stay. His health is always a major issue with Cam. And I noticed that it seemed like he didn't really fit in, kind of like it just looked out of place in that game. And I think he was the only downside negative. And I feel like another positive that I missed out on was Quigley. Quigley you could tell that he'd been putting in that work. My man's upper body strength, going to the rim and finishing. Because remember, that was his problem last year. He couldn't finish at the rim, or he would look lost when it came to finishing and attacking at the rim. And you could tell the work that he's put in the gym. He's gotten bigger, upper body wise, and he just looks more comfortable running the offense. He looks more comfortable taking it to the rim, and he absorbs much more contact because he's the upper body strength. He's kind of like Jalen Brunson in that way, where they know how to get to the rim and they can get the and ones because they can absorb the contact. And remember, they've been saying that he's been the last one leaving the gym, and you can see it on the court, man. So I love the direction that Miles McBride was surprised too, because I feel like he's another one that comes off the bench, gives you instant defense, and occasionally can knock down a couple of shots if you need him to. And he's another one that hustles, picks up full court press. Yo, when's the last time we had a point guard that picked up full court press?
I can't even tell you, bro. I can't tell you, bro.
So you look at him, and man, it was sad because we didn't get to see Grimes, and Grimes does the same thing. They both kind of had a little bit of similarities in their defensive acronym. So there was a lot of good positives to take away for that. So those are my positives and negatives. And then obviously getting a dub.
Yeah, that was
a good too.
But now let's touch base on this, right? And I'm going over, and a lot of people that's tuning in. Sorry for that in the background. Y'all know how they do outside. Got the street sweepers outside. Now I mean, got to get the streets clean. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at, and for those that don't know, make sure y'all do follow Ray on Twitter. That's Ray Dixon Live. You feel me? His Knicks spots presentation graphics are on point. And I'm looking at one right now, talking about preseason game 1 observations. I'm going straight to the last point, and I want him to touch base on it so he can elaborate a little bit more. What exactly did you see in this second unit that made you say has the potential to be lethal?
Well, for starters, they didn't play all that well collectively. And yet you saw the ability to create space in terms of, widening the gap, so to speak. You had individual performers like Quickly, who looked a lot more comfortable going to the rack, right? It wasn't like he was necessarily jacking it up. We know that he could hit that shot, but it seems as though he's diversified his offensive arsenal, because I didn't see him looking to take the three every single time. I saw him, going to the rack, absorbing contact, as Ariel said, and actually finishing. He wasn't flailing or throwing up some crazy layup or anything like that. So you got Quickly. You got Rose, who looked good in very limited action, but he was quickly inked and replaced by Deuce, who I believe he had like 6 steals. Like the first few buckets.
Menace, bro. Menace.
Yeah, defensive menace, man. he had about, I mean, I counted his first 3 buckets as being direct steals, and it was done in a lot of different ways. You know, he had his, he was defending individuals who were going to the basket, and he was, you know, getting a hand in there and being able to strip and head the other way. He was just laying in wait for those passing lanes as well too. You know, it's not just that he's a good defender in one aspect. This is that he seems to have a lot of defensive instincts. So that's another piece that I like. And it's not even necessarily that we see him as part of the bench unit in terms of the 10, so to speak. You got people like Cam and Deuce who aren't necessarily firmly entrenched into the bench 5, so to speak. So I think we do have the potential to be lethal. You saw Obi finishing at the rim, finishing strong. He finishes in such a way that energizes the team, energizes the crowd. You know, he's getting open looks and taking those looks in the flow of the game. Granted, those shots didn't look so great. You know, they look like the moonshot joints, you know, from the first season where it was way up and then, you know, but, you know, I trust Obi. He's a hard worker. He's been putting in work. You know, he was over the summer, he was working with Coach McLean over there in California. So he says he was working, and then he came back to New York and was working with Tips for a couple of months there too. So if Obi has it going and Quickly has it going, and you got Deuce there, we haven't seen Grimes yet. You know what I'm saying? Cam's best basketball, hopefully, is in front of him, right? So Hartenstein, Ariel touched on that, but what I saw was a feisty, energetic, competent player. He could do a lot of different things on the court. And I actually would like to see, I love Mitch. He's our starter. Oh my goodness, someone was calling. I love Mitch.
Everybody loves us today. Everybody loves us today. Everybody getting a call.
I'm gonna call you on your.
I will put it on airplane mode next, you know, do not disturb. But shoot, I lost my train of thought there.
Nah, you were going on just the whole fact of iHeart, you know, just how he is as a player.
Yeah, he's like Tasmanian devil with control. And I love his attitude, man. He's feisty. He has good hands. He could defend the rim. You know, obviously he could stretch. That was something I saw everybody get excited about. We ain't have a stretch big since KP, you know, like a legitimate one. So I actually would like to see iHeart, you know, deal with the starters a little bit, maybe mix in, because he creates it's a little bit more playmaking. He didn't really show his passing like that, but he can pass. You know, he's really competent in, I think, all areas. So, and plus, he's a white guy named Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? How do you say no to that? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I saw. We have a lot of action. We have a lot of players who are actually startable on the bench. We have numerous players who are startable. And when they come together, I think that we have the potential to have a very, 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 very difficult team to deal with. Second stringers are generally not as talented as the starters. But like I said, we have multiple starting caliber players. So that's why I feel like the bench could be so lethal.
Definitely, man. I love every take of it and just the breakdown of it, especially from, like I said, with me, I had to catch highlights and watch the game. So just that full depth analysis of the bench unit is retarded. But the thing that a lot of people aren't touching on from what I've seen, this big 3 might actually work. It just might work. Like Randall had no turnovers. He still gave you 16 or 15, I believe. Brunson gave you 16. They made RJ the focal point. So it's like they matching their contracts to their play style. It's like, I like how nobody had to try hard to get their buckets. Everybody was just on point. But the main thing I like overall, it's preseason. I get it. It's preseason. But at the end of the day, the whole starting 5 had a plus minus. Everybody was in the plus. Everybody in the starting 5. Last year, we couldn't get that at all. You feel me? But it's
and then look, he got the best bench in the league, bro. It's not talked about, but the Knicks might have the best second unit in the league, bro. Look around the league and tell. I was looking through all the rosters throughout all the teams, and I could not find one that paired. It is not just off my biasness because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I'm just looking at from top to bottom. That whole bench unit is better than any bench unit in the NBA, even on some of these elite teams.
Yeah,
Nah,
I tend to agree, man. But I mean, one team that comes to mind is Golden State. You know, because they had those.
Maybe them. They might have a little competition, but other than that, there's no other. You look around the league, nobody has a deeper bench than the Knicks.
Nah, that is a fact though. But that first game was crazy, man. Like, I didn't expect us to come out there wilding like that. I didn't expect us in the first half in the first half alone to already have 8 threes put up. You know what I'm saying? Made like as a unit. But that's a dub that we had, especially when it came to my predictions. I told everybody, yo, I don't care what nobody say. We smoke. You see me smoking on that piston pack right now. You feel me? I told y'all that I was going to do that. So what's up? Tomorrow, am I smoking on the Indiana pack? Let's go ahead and transfer.
We had problems with Indiana recently. I don't know why, even when they're not even that good.
You want to hear something crazy before we even tap into that prediction? I'm on Facebook, and as I'm on Facebook, you know how they do the reminders? Like, you go back to things you shared like a year ago. I'm literally looking at the graphic I made with us against the damn Pacers. And I'm like, wow, that's mad funny that we played them Friday, and it comes up today. Because I put it up last year, we played them today. And last year, if I'm not mistaken, didn't RJ drop 19 points in the first quarter on them?
Yeah.
So let's look out for that. And with the first way of this prediction, of course, you know, we're going to tap into the Brunson and the Halliburton battle. But you definitely wrote it, Ray. Let's talk about it. Like I said, last year, RJ dropped 19 in the first quarter. Can RJ do it again with his shooting and efficiency? You touched based on it, but break it down just a little bit more. How can that translate and look good for this next preseason game?
Okay, so I'm going to start with Brunson.
Okay.
First off, I feel like Brunson has the most unique bag of any point guard in the league. And it sounds crazy, it sounds ludicrous, but let me tell you why. It's because he's the only point guard in the league that has a post game like a power forward.
Thank you.
You know, his post game is kind of nuts for somebody at his size, but he has that strength, that stockiness, kind of like that Kyle Lowry stockiness and strength. And he utilizes the post game as good as any player I feel like I see at the point guard, shooting guard, small forward position. And he even has a lot more capabilities down there than a lot of power forwards, I think. So I feel like he utilizes that to his advantage, even when going to the basket with his great footwork. If he gets a half a step on you and puts his shoulder into you, I mean, good luck. That's a bucket, you know, and he's very efficient from all 3 levels. With that said, I feel like he bullied Cade.
Did you see when he put him in the blender? Oh my goodness. He caught him with the Rudy Gobert.
It's nothing new, because if you watched him in the playoffs, the dude was putting Rudy Gobert in the blender on skates.
But bro, he did the same exact setup on Cade, and Cade didn't know where to go. Cade was like, oh snap. Yo, bro, mind you, Cade came into the league, was known in the league like, yeah, he can score, but they know Cade can defend, bro. He made, mind you, do you see the size difference? He made Cade look stupid out there, bro. Not only that, he made Sadiq Bey look stupid. Caught him with the in-between, came through, hit him with the little sidestep, mid-range, bang. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, this man is different. Like, Jalen is really different. Like, when you look at his game, and it's crazy because I was watching some Luka highlights, right? I don't know how in the world I got to this Luka highlight, but I'm watching it from the bubble season, like all his playoffs, and I'm looking at certain moves he was doing, certain shot selections. You can definitely tell that Jalen incorporated what he knew and definitely incorporated some of them bags from Luka. Like, I see it. Like, when you see Jalen do I'm a step here, come back, switch off the pivot, fade away, bro, that was Luka. I seen Luka do that all the time. I was like, wow, okay. So he's doing that now. If you peep during the off season, you saw a little bit of videos of Randall trying to implement that in his game when he was doing little. So it's like he's teaching these guys different things, man. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my
goodness. Brunson's unique, you know what I'm saying? Especially at his side. And I even saw a look of frustration on Cade's face. And Cade is a pretty stoic guy. I would think. So, I think Brunson kind of got underneath his skin, especially with some of the charges he was taking. And, Brunson was sacrificing his body. But with that said, Tyrese Halliburton is not a pushover. But at the same time, they're both going to have their work cut out for each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they're seeing each other and they're both great players. As it pertains to RJ, the one thing that kind of puzzled me is that I didn't really see too much chemistry between Brunson and RJ. And that's going to kind of take a little longer. I kind of saw Brunson more so getting the bigs involved. And I think with RJ's efficiency, I feel like obviously his shooting has gotten better, but I feel like his efficiency can remain at this point or possibly even get a little better on certain games, with Brunson finding him. I feel like they haven't hit that groove yet. But RJ's been putting in the work and it's been showing, each and every year he's been, he may not necessarily have the gracefulness of a Kyrie Irving, but who does? That's Kyrie. But I would say, man, RJ just got to pick his spots, not force it up. He's going to get a lot of open looks in the corner and in the pocket, man. And honestly, he just has to let it fly with confidence. That's really what I feel like he has to do because he's going to get his spots. We have more shooting and spacing on the floor, more playmaking. So a lot of those responsibilities that he took on the second half of last year, he won't have to do that. He will at spurts. I want to see the ball in his hands a little bit more. But yeah, he just needs to play off of his teammates. All the teammates need to play off of each other and play together. And I feel like we'll see a much more efficient RJ Barrett.
Definitely, man.
It's funny that you touch on that because that's one thing I was telling a couple other people that what I like about this team, especially seeing them that first night together as a nucleus, I like that they look like they have a lot of good camaraderie. Like they like playing, they genuinely enjoy playing for each other. And that's a part of the aspect of a team that you have to incorporate that into it because if they don't have cohesion and if they're not like a whole cohesive unit, a lot of times that's how the teams end up failing. Whether they're young, whether they got a mix of vets or all young cats, they have to like playing with each other. And they they hang out with each other. You see them working out, posting videos with each other. All that stuff goes a long way. And you can obviously see it on the court. Are there some issues? Like you said, I didn't see too much RJ getting involved when Brunson was in the game, but I think that'll come to fruition the more they play with each other because they are still new and they're getting acclimated with each other. But I still feel like, what I'm seeing, I like what I see, man. And Brunson, like I said, his footwork, like y'all was saying, I've been raving about that for the longest. That's one of the most things that I love about Brunson, that he can break somebody over. And then when he gets into that 3 foot, 4 foot paint area, he knows how to break down his defender, whether they're taller than him or they match height wise. He knows how to get it going.
Definitely. What's crazy though? The key matchup that I'm looking at, and that's only if they actually play him. But I'm looking forward to this Mitch and Turner battle. I want to see what that's about because it's Mitch gave us he's going to pick the passing lanes, dribble. He doesn't have to dunk it all the time. You've seen the smooth little layup he did. He welcomed Jaden Ivey to the league, put his joint, said, yo, get that out of here. Not today, bro. That was college. This is big boy time.
Twice.
Now it's like Turner and Mitch. We watched how Mitch didn't close out a lot. So I'm looking at Mitch to really see what bag of tricks he has when it comes to how he defends a center that can bring you all the way to the 3. But also I want to see what type of, because he said he worked on post moves. When you got a guy in Miles Turner that can actually defend, now we need to see that you worked on this. So that's my matchup I'm looking for in preseason. That's the way I do my preseasons. The first game, I just wanted to see the team flourish because it's like Detroit, bro. That's a team you should beat. Now, the Pacers is another team we should beat, but that's a team that normally sneaks up on us and beats us because we're always lacking where we're leaving the perimeter open. They have great shooters. And on top of that, it's always something going on where Mitch seems to never have Turner under control. So that's where it's like, all right, Mitch, it's time to step up. But this is the question I have for y'all and anyone y'all can go. How do you feel this game would dictate how Tom perceives certain matchups like this versus maybe I should start iHeart here and let Mitch rotate and come off the bench in certain situations? You think, like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, yeah, Mitch is the better defender, but iHeart looks like he can actually just keep up with them, being how he's not at, like, don't get me wrong, Mitch is fast as hell. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Mitch is fast as hell. But it just looks like iHeart can stick with him, and especially with having that passing IQ. Imagine guarding somebody, getting the block, and then be able to, you know what I'm saying, create the outlet pass. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So how do y'all feel this tomorrow's game with Mitch, you know, and Turner, how that would dictate how Tom may move with that selection?
I think with certain matchups, especially, you know, as far as watching Mitch, you know, his first couple of years in the league, the knock on Mitch is that what we see is like he doesn't have that consistency, right? Like he'll dog an average center, an average Joe center, but when it comes to playing like the elite centers, like you said, he's late on the closeouts. He's not contesting coming out there, you know, too quick enough on those bigs that can stretch the floor. So it's going to be an ultimate test to see if Mitch can get out there and close out on a Miles Turner, who spreads the floor pretty well. And that's where Mitch has his problems at. He will have his way on the rebounding end because we all know Miles Turner can't rebound worth his life for his height, which boggles me. Any guy that's over 6'10" that's not a good rebounder, it doesn't correlate with me. Like as far as playing ball, like you don't know guys that are big should be at least a decent rebounder. But and that's an ultimate test for him. And ultimately moving forward, it'll show if maybe he can mix and match, and maybe he can actually put Hartenstein on him a little bit more, give him a little bit more burn if Mitch has trouble closing out on Turner. That's the way I feel about it.
Definitely. How about you, Ray?
Ever since we signed Hartenstein, I felt like that made Mitch expendable. And I love Mitch. You know, I want him to be a Knick. But the reality is that the Knicks have a very deep center rotation, especially with Sims as well, too.
Thank you for bringing him up. Ooh, talk about it.
Who we basically got, it's not a third round, but if there were, we basically got him in the third round, right? We got him at 58, you know, and we just converted his contract. So, I mean, with both of those players, they don't have the strength, length, or, they're just different players with different attributes. But I feel like Sims is a little closer to Mitch's skill set. So for me, Tibbs is pretty stubborn. You know, I think we all know that. So I honestly don't think anything could happen in this game that's going to stop him from starting Mitchell Robinson. You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like Hartenstein's play is something that will be discussed internally and will give us some options in the trade market, so to speak. You know, we just signed him. I don't think we signed Mitch to trade him. You know, that's not what I'm suggesting. That's not what I want. But just from a business perspective, Hartenstein does enough stuff at a good enough level where I feel like he is a threat to either take over the starting position or, you know, to slide in due to a trade. So, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about the situation tonight with that matchup.
That's a fact, man. It's definitely going to be crazy. I don't know why people are not understanding that, but it's going to get real, bro. It's going to get super real. The other key thing that I'm looking at too, right? Who's going to be the stopper for Duarte? And a lot of people feel like Cam Reddish may not play. Now, I need people to understand, and especially, you know, with the last 10 minutes of this, a lot of people need to understand that reports went out that Cam actually wanted to get back in the game. Okay, y'all? It was the coaching staff that said, no, just sit it out. So if that's being said, they obviously just wanted to evaluate him for one more day to be sure, because they already got to deal with Grimes being out. You get what I'm saying? And obviously, for the way I'm looking at it, some people are feeling like Cam, he already messed up his way of getting into the rotation. I see it as in the organization is actually trying to give him a chance for once. Like, he actually is getting a chance. The fact that they said, nah, we're going to hold you out instead of letting him go play is like, all right, let's really make sure you're good. Let's make sure you go crazy. So it's funny, but if he does play, I think Cam is going to end up locking Duarte down. And I think it's going to be, you know how every time the Knicks go against the Pacers, it's always Duarte versus somebody else in a shooting battle. I think this is the game where Cam puts it all together, because the first game, you know, he was really rushing it. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he was trying a little too hard. I think this game is where he puts it together, and now he showcases why he needs to be here, remain here. Like, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I think basically it does ultimately, and it's a test to the Knicks management. Like as far as like all those reports that came out that he wanted out, which I don't really like always jump on the first thing I see. I feel like people get too emotional with reading these reports and think, you see, they don't even want to give him a chance. And now you see what happened in that preseason game and what they said, why they let him sit it out, because they can't afford another major injury. They already got Grimes, who might be out, for who knows how long. Now if you split Reddish, now you got to have more minutes for, what's that guy's name that we picked up? That he got banned for 1 year. You're gonna see him play more. Fourth quarter. I forgot his name. What was his name? Can't think of his name. Jalen Harris.
Right? Oh yeah, 0-0, right?
Yeah. So you're gonna see more minutes from him, and then you might even see a little bit of Trevor Keels, in case those two guys aren't ready to go. So I feel like I feel like the Knicks can actually benefit from it, and I feel like Cam can benefit from it too. That sit it out, wait till you get to your 100%. And then showcase what you got, and then we can see, you can get more evaluation to see what we're gonna do with him moving forward.
That's a fact.
Yo, so Trippy, I love that you essentially call Cam the Duarte stopper, right? The fact that Duarte has risen to the point where we have to really pay attention to him, I feel like that's a good reflection on the Pacers brass. They got a good one. Cam, you know what? I can't really fault people for any thought that they may have on Cam, whether they're high on him, whether they're not so high on him. I happen to think that Cam has a world of talent. I think we all agree that the kid is talented, right? I really wish he didn't roll his ankle. He didn't look quite as comfortable, but it seemed like he was getting into the flow of things. And just from the little bit of time that I saw him on the court, it seemed like him and RJ had some chemistry. Yeah. They looked happy together, So for me, I think Cam stands the best chance. With Duarte being a starter, I think RJ will accept that challenge. I'd be very surprised if they put Evan Fournier on him. So I'm gonna start with RJ, and then I feel like Cam, if he's good, will come in and accept that challenge. And that's really how I feel about it.
Honestly speaking, I don't know what it is, but it's just giving me that vibe. It's giving me that vibe that Cam is going to play. It's showing me that not only that, you're going to see, this is just my late predictions. We got 5 minutes left. I'm just giving you the full out predictions. RJ going to drop 30. Jalen going to have like 20. Randall going to have 15, but he going to have like 12 boards, and he going to have like 8 assists. This is when you're going to see Randall really get in his bag on some. Randall's about to shock y'all this game. You feel me? Because they have no power forward messing with him over there. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? This is also a game where if Cam doesn't do exactly what I said, being the Duarte stopper, this is when you see IQ light the stage up. You feel me? Because that's another guy, when Duarte's hitting, IQ's like, nah, hold up. Let's run it back. You feel me? A lot of people are high on Deuce. I think we're going to see more of a offensive Deuce this game versus the defensive side. Like he's got that, but now you're going to see him really locking on offense. And I think also, lastly, this is the time where we get the passing IQ of iHeart. You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean, passing IQ of iHeart. Like, you're going to start seeing that. Like, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game, bro. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I'm actually home to watch this one. Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
I'm literally getting out of work right as soon as it starts. I leave at 7.
I got any final predictions on the game, like which I think may happen? Because I ain't gonna give no score. I'm tired of giving scores, bro. Like, I just want to know what y'all think may happen with the last 3 Jones.
I think honestly the Knicks will get this momentum and they'll get this win. I don't think Indiana. To me, I think Indiana. I don't feel like they made a major step forward. I think the Knicks will carry this momentum. They're a little bit more well-rounded than they were last year because they actually have a real good point guard now. And I think the Knicks will come away with this dub.
Definitely.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like we're going to get this win. One of the things that I noted is that it kind of almost felt like we had a rivalry with the Pacers the last couple of years. I don't know if you guys peeped this, but I felt like Randall and Sabonis used to go at it so hard. And I feel like Randall took that matchup personally. You know, Sabonis is out in Sacramento right now. But I don't know, there was something about those games that I felt like it, not even just last season, the season before really was very, very intense. So I expect Randall to eat. I expect a better game from Obi as well, too. I just expect our power forwards to eat. You know, I think you were spot on, Trippy. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this W.
That's a fact, man. We're going to go 2-0 in the preseason. And like I said, people, don't get stuck with the facade like last time happened. You know, we ain't lose not one preseason game last year. We was like, oh, we about to go crazy. And then look what happened. We fell to dirt. So just taking one step at a time. As I always tell everybody, as Nick's Twitter tells everybody, just any realistic Nick could tell you. And then when I say this Nick fan, it's like just take it one game at a time. Evaluate the talent, evaluate what's to come, and stop looking for every negative aspect when it comes to your team. You need to look at what can be fixed, what can be helped. And if you see the negative, just implement a lineup in your head that doesn't involve it. Because like we all know, Tom ain't trying to split no minutes. I keep trying to push the narrative of, he has to go ahead and at least do a 12 or 13-man rotation with how he got it. But we know how Tom gives it up. You feel me? So just get ready for it. As y'all all know, we play the Pacers tomorrow. It's lit. Make sure y'all lock in. It was nice having y'all for this first recap. We got a whole season of doing this. You feel me? So stay blessed. Stay real. BSN Basketball Station. Make sure y'all subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what y'all takes are. It's your guy, Trippy OG, my main man, Ariel. Right here, man. Make sure y'all stay in tune. Knicks, we are here. You feel me? We are here. We are back better than ever. And oh my God, like I said, matter of fact, not even like I said, like you said earlier, right? You said we didn't get a lot of the whole RJ and Jalen. This is the game we're going to get that. This is the game we're going to get it. It has to be locked, set in stone. Pacers have too many guards. Now let these wings fly. You feel me? We see y'all after that game. Stay tuned, y'all.